And welcome back. Well, coming out of a long, cold winter, spring is the perfect time to refresh and renew.
Carol Nixon, the editor-in-chief of Milwaukee Magazine, is here to chat about something fresh for their April issue, which lands in stores today. This is not only a big issue because of content, the magazine now has a new look.
Looks good.
I think it looks fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
What all went into this new look?
You know, it's a lot of conversations about fonts. Have you ever had long conversations about like whether, you know, what a font represents? It's sort of like talking about wine, but even more abstract.
Anybody who's done a website has done that conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's long and tedious.
We went with Canella. We felt it was we felt it was sophisticated yet friendly.
Yes.
We felt it represented the city and also the direction we want to go in. So that was a big part of it.
I like that. Sophisticated and friendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Looks great. I love it.
And so fonts were just one part of it. We rearranged the sections in the magazine, and a lot of the stuff is, you know, I don't know that readers really pay that close attention to how the magazine's organized, but the point of it is to make the reading experience just better and also to reflect the content to make.
Will people still see their favorites there in the list of contents and be able to find the things that they've grown accustomed to reading and enjoying? But
there are a few changes. So instead of a culture section, we folded that into the first section in the magazine, which is now called Navigator. And it also includes a little bit more style. So this month we show a boathouse.
Fun.
And we'll also be covering the suburbs a little bit more. We have an article about Wauwatosa in that section. And we start out with opening day.
Okay. Great. Yeah. With opening day, is it what to eat while you're there?
We have a little bit about what to eat. We have a little bit about how hopeful we are about the Brewers and you know, we think it's going to be the year.
Because it was a good one last year.
Yeah. It had such a great start already, which is wonderful. That's awesome.
Cool. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other things. One of the articles you have this month is Where to Live Now.
Yes, that's one of the features. That's the cover story. And so we used data. It's all scientifically, factually based. And using that, we divided up our community into 4 areas: north, south, west, and then central city. And within each, we looked at what the best neighborhoods are for if you're just a first-time buyer, if you're trading up, if you're downsizing, etc.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of surprises, do you think, about Where to Live Now?
You know, I think we dug up some gems. I think that, I think people who look at the article will be a little surprised, particularly within the central city. But the other thing is that, the real estate market right now is so hot that if you are in the market to buy, you should do some research.
And you gave some tips for home buying, too.
Yes, we did.
I think that's very, very useful for people.
Absolutely. What are some of the other must-reads in the magazine this month?
Well, also part of the redesign is we've added something called the Big Story, and that's going to be a 3- or 4-page story in the insider section. This month, it's about a local priest who came out as gay, and that's the type of story we'll be telling in this department. It's a news story that requires a little bit more thought, a little more in-depth reporting.
Is he one of the first priests to do this per that title, The Out Heard Around the World?
You know, he's one of the very few. I mean, he's not the first, but there aren't that many priests who have come out. And it's a tricky topic because he is celibate. He's taken a vow of celibacy. And
that's exactly what I was going to ask you.
So that's, I think, what makes it an interesting article or a topic that we wanted to delve further into because there's so many nuances of it. And the Archdiocese has been very supportive, but it has, it has gotten a lot of publicity and people are talking about it again all around the world. So
that's great. Good for you. Great to start conversations like that because I think the more people talk and understand, the more understanding is always great. And good for you for writing something that's received so much attention. I'm excited for the magazine. Also, you have a local priest who they think is going to be sainted.
One step from sainthood.
That's exciting.
Casey Solanas, and he was from northern Wisconsin. He studied in Milwaukee, and then he spent the biggest chunk of his career in Detroit. And he was beatified, and so now it's just a waiting game as to whether he'll become a saint. But it looks, fingers crossed, looking good.
Yeah, that's great. What are the big things that he has done? Like, what would he become the saint of? Do you know that?
Yeah. He was known for working with the people who were most down and out, and he had a real talent for listening to them and inspiring them and helping put their life on the right track. And then as part of the requirement for being beatified, he posthumously achieved a miracle in healing a woman who had very bad psoriasis and skin problems, and she was healed by him, by praying to him. Yeah.
Another issue, another must-read is about immigration.
Yes.
In this April issue.
Yeah, that's a really interesting story because, you know, we're a city of immigrants. You know, the whole country is a country of immigrants, but in particular, Milwaukee was a melting pot at the beginning of the last century, and now we're still a melting pot, but it's a different demographic. And so we talk about the different ethnic groups that are coming to the city and why, and what their experience is here, and I think it's very compelling. And so many different reasons. For instance, many people from India are coming particularly to the western suburbs, and that group is highly educated and is having a different experience than people who are coming more as refugees from escaping, you know, terrible political situations. So.
Yeah. Interesting reads this month. People have got to pick up the magazine. It's on in all the typical places, right?
Yes, it is. And as part of our redesign, we are launching a hashtag Read Local. I think it's so important that the city has a magazine like this. So.
Absolutely.
That's great. And you've now been named publisher along with editor-in-chief.
I have.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's fantastic. I think that's great.
The buck stops here.
Yeah, right? Absolutely it does. MilwaukeeMagazine.com is where, or MilwaukeeMag.com is the website people can visit to find out more, to subscribe, and to see more about some of these great issues, articles that are in this issue.
Love what you're doing.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So good to be here.
Nice to have you.